about 120 items fit onto that map. In Vermont, they had over 2,000 nominations, and that database of nominations of significant touristic features goes then to that tourism council for that region so that they can use that in their marketing. You can see in Vermont, they defined that their themes would be what can you do all year round as opposed to just winter. Our map guide group will also be defining what is the theme for this area. In Crown of the Continent map for Montana, their theme was that the amenity immigrants were taking over their area. People who had a lot of money were buying up their landscape. So they wanted a theme of the history of the area. That's the one side of the map. And on the other side of the map is what's to do today in tourism terms. Here's our schedule. We're going through the outreach process right now, January through March, collecting nominations. May, the tourism committee meets and defines the themes and vets the nominations. It goes to National Geographic, comes back to the committee, it goes to National Geographic again, and then it's released in January. 50,000 maps. Up to the local committees to define how those maps will be distributed, except they will be free. These are the partners that are participant in the committee, as known now, but not necessarily limited to these groups. We have federal, state, non-governmental entities, and locals, all drawn from this area. And that's it. That's the decision that we're working with is, are we sustaining or enhancing the character of our place? Otherwise, we shouldn't do it. But we are, and that's how it's working.
Good. Questions of the board? How about members of the public wishing to speak to this item? Please step forward to the podium. State your name for the record.
I'm Richard Strom, and I'm the Director of Special Projects for MCPA, and this is one of my projects. So I'm going to be the local county rep, and if you have any questions and can't get a hold of Marcia, you can just get a hold of me at the MCPA office. This is terribly exciting, and it's not costing us anything. We're not asking for money. It's fully funded. It's fantastic. Thanks for your time.
I believe this is a unique program just for that reason, Richard, and you know, this board, I think, will be unanimous in approving such an action that doesn't cost us anything but actually brings us money. Yeah. So I think this is a no-brainer, and we do appreciate you bringing this to our attention. I do apologize for maybe shortening up your presentation, and I ask for your understanding. So any additional comments from the board? Okay. Thank you very much, Marcia. Okay, we're going to try and move along here, and I'm going to move to, I believe there's a GSA item that was pulled from the agenda, so we can kind of take care of some business. Is that correct? Ms. McMenemy, what was your item before us?
I believe that was item 18 relating to the planning and building vehicle.
I have the timed item for the negative declaration for the dog park.
Okay.
Today.
But you had item 18 on the consent calendar that Supervisor Delmore pulled.
Okay. Wrong department for item 18. We do have a timed item at 11 for 7B, which is a notice public hearing for conducting a public hearing to consider adoption of a negative deck in compliance with CEQA for the Low Gap Dog Park, and if appropriate, adopt resolution adopting proposed negative declaration. And this is from the GSA department. Ms. McMenemy, at this point, I will ask for notice to the clerk. Has it been established?
We do have proper notice.
Okay, and is there any additional correspondence before us that we have not yet seen?
None that we are aware of.
Okay, I'll open the public hearing at this time, and staff will present a presentation, then I'll take public input. Staff will present after public input any final remarks. The board will then present their questions about staff and/or public comments. I'll close the public hearing at that point and remand the item to the board. So, Ms. McMenamy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The board recently considered an amendment to the county code dealing with permitting dogs to run without leashes in dog parks. You'll remember that ordinance came back before you and was approved by you. The county, in concert with the city of Ukiah, we are ready to move forward with the construction of the dog park at Logat Park. The city of Ukiah has been our partner in this particular issue with regards to, they headed up the committee who has been raising funds to get this accomplished, along with Supervisor Delbar's Prop 40 contribution. GSA, we did attempt a previous dog park, as you may remember, in Redwood Valley. However, that was in honor of our former county employee, Mr. Tom Hubbs, who worked as our parks employee for several years. However, that park was subsequently removed due to public concerns. Pursuant to CEQA requirements, an environmental assessment has been completed for this particular project at Logat Park. The proposed 1-acre off-leash dog park will be located within the existing ball field at Logat Park. The assessment supports the adoption of the negative declaration.